Critical Blast, where pop culture gets blasted.
And good evening, everybody. I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor for CriticalBlast.com, where pop culture gets blasted. We are here again tonight in the Critical Blast Caverns to do yet another in an ongoing series of interviews with the comic book crowdfunding people. And with us tonight, we have Mark Poulton and Mike McMahon. See, I switched you guys around from what we did earlier. Just throw up your game. To talk about their new crowdfunded project. I'm going to say USAssassin, but
yep, correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So that sounds like an exciting book, and I love the cover I've seen of that. Very evocative of me sitting in front of the television in the 1980s. But let's get to know you guys first before we get to know about your comic book. What got you guys into comics? I mean, I can tell by looking past you, you've been into this for a while now.
Yeah, for me, it started with 80s cartoons like Transformers, He-Man, Super Friends, and of course, G.I. Joe. I was huge into G.I. Joe, loved the cartoon, loved the toys. And then one day I saw a commercial and they were so perfect packaging it all together. It would start out with a little cartoon, then it would show the most recent toy, and then at the end it would say, for more adventures of G.I. Joe, check out Marvel Comics, whatever. And I was like, there's G.I. Joe comic books? So I had my mom drive me to the mall. There was this is really dating myself, a Walden bookstore. And I got G.I. Joe 34. It was my first comic book. And I was hooked ever since. I got a G.I. Joe subscription right from there. And just from reading those issues, I saw like advertisements for other books like X-Men and Spider-Man. And I was instantly hooked. And I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. I was always like artistic drawing and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I want to make comics when I get older.
And Mom said, no, you want a real job?
Pretty much, yeah. My plan was I was going to, after high school, go to art school, and my parents were like, "We're not sending you to art school. You already know how to draw." They were like, "But if you go and get like a real degree, you can take art as an elective," and art never fit into my schedule. But writing, there was some writing classes, and I was just like, oh, I'll just take this to fill my schedule, and it just happened to be where my future sort of, diverted into another direction.
Yeah, just go take drafting, and then you draw houses all day, and then you can put people in front of them. So, Mike, what about you? How'd you get into this funny book business?
I have drawn as long as I can remember. I think comic-wise, there used to be a grocery store by our house called Randall's, and they had those. It was a spinner rack, but it was a spinner rack that had hooks on it, and they had like those pre-bagged like 3-packs of comics. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure
the last one you couldn't tell what was in the middle. That was the surprise one.
And what was weird was they would pack DC and Marvel together, because I remember it was in the middle was a Batman, but on the outside one comic was a Marvel team up with Daredevil, Spider-Man and Daredevil against the Owl. And then the other one was Spider-Man and Nightcrawler, and they were at a circus. And for some reason, those are the ones I remember the most. I don't even remember what the Batman was about, because as a kid, I was all about Spider-Man. But I've always drawn. My dad, that's his table back there. He was a pretty awesome caricaturist. He could, do like the kind of Mad Magazine-esque style of drawing people. But then I took it into comics, which, he was just kind of like, what? That's not real art, but kind of like it's an offshoot of what you do, but that's okay. But from there, I think one Christmas he brought home How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. I still have my copies downstairs. It's disintegrating because it's so old, because it's the hardcover one. I don't even have the slip case, what do you call that? The paper cover.
Oh yeah, the dust jacket.
Dust jacket. Yeah, it doesn't even have the dust jacket anymore. So it's just been moved and beat up. But from there, I loved comics. That was my thing. G.I. Joe, Transformers. The 80s were great because if you had a toy of something, there was a cartoon of it or a comic book of it. And, kids these days get really gypped because none of their toys are really that cool. But, none of them, have cartoons or comic books about them. It's just, I don't know, just toys to put out toys. But anyway, I've always liked drawing. I've always liked comics. First artist I really got into was John Romita Jr. back in the early Spider-Man days, and then his first run on X-Men, and then the Image guys came out, and just that was it. That was like, this is what I'm doing, because it looks so much fun. It was so much cooler than what had come in the past. So that's kind of I think the lane that both Mark and I drive down is fun, exciting. There will be no 12-panel talking head page in any of our books. That's not how we roll.
So not this is not a Brian Michael Bendis production you're putting on here.
Right. That's very true. I mean, and that guy gets such great artists for his books. What a waste, what a waste of great artists,
I mentioned John Romita Jr., and I'm still halfway through my Detective 1027 big book here. Got a comic book marking my page. And I was like reading one of these stories in here. I'm like, this is really good artwork, and this is a really good story. And it was written by Kelly Sue DeConnick. So, I was like, okay, well, she can tell a story, I guess. Not so much on Twitter, but sometimes
she can tell stories on Twitter, but she's,
that's a different kind of story.
Yeah.
But this Batman story with Bruce Wayne and some other guy, I was like, this is really good artwork, and I saw that was John Romita Jr.
Yep.
I'm like, well, apparently John can still draw quite well if he's not bored by the story he's having to draw.
Yep. Yep. And if he has a great inker.
Yes.
If anybody out there got Silencer, he did, I think, the first 3 issues, and he was inked by Sandra Hope. And Sandra on her Instagram will show like the pencils to the inks. He was darn lucky he had Sandra Hope, because she turned scribbles into, I mean, she's probably, I know a lot of people are going to be pissed because everyone loves Klaus Janson or Al Williamson, but she makes him look the best he's ever looked, in my opinion.
I know a lot of Silencer fans, and they talk about the art all the time. Again, because action comics, and just
that's all. It's like, how do you waste Ivan Reyes or
Well, no, it's John Romita Jr. drawing it now.
Oh, now,
yeah.
See, I don't even follow. I just, I get indie books now. That's it.
Pick up an Action Comics next time you're in your LCS, and just make sure it's by him, and make sure that Bendis is writing it, and just flip through it. It's literally the roughs that he looked at and said, "Fuck it, good enough," and colored it and sent it in.
That's sad.
Just people talking, standing around and talking.
Yeah.
But that's not why we're here. We can do that for an hour or so if you want.
Okay.
I'm sure we have plenty of ammunition on it.
That's true.
So yeah, the 90s, that's what I'm going to date myself. I was getting out of college when the Image revolution came around. I know this because I went to the Chicago Comic-Con in 89, and I went to the Image tent, and it was there was the big table set up there with McFarlane and Liefeld and everybody. And I didn't have to pay for autographs back in the good old days when I walked to the convention uphill both ways. I paid to get in, but Todd was talking about Spawn, and he was like, yeah, you all see the Batman movie posters, which definitely dates it. All they did was put the symbol up there, and they didn't have to say what the movie was. You just walk by and said, oh, Batman. It's going to be a Batman movie. You wait 10 years from now, that's what we're going to have. Just going to put this symbol, the circle up here with the big 2 eyes. People are going to say, oh, yeah, Spawn movie. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, Sure. He got his movie, and he got his movie poster. So,
Yeah,
well,
and he did it in less. Well, he did it. Yeah, he did it in less than 10 years.
yeah, it's pretty quick.
That's a man that I think of all of them. You know, everyone talks about how like Jim's the good businessman. I mean, Todd's had ups and downs, but man, he doesn't just have comics. He's got, you know, comics, animation, movie, toys. I mean, he's got foundation for a sturdy house. I think that's probably why he's outlasted most of them.
So are you both of you guys taking lessons from Todd for USAssassin, and you know, looking into the action figure market? And
yeah, so it's funny. Like my whole like as I write the book, I told Mike every volume we're changing USAssassin's costume because, you know, I'm thinking about the action figures. I don't know if we'll ever have action figures. I mean, I think our cast of characters are perfect for action figures.
Yeah,
but I just loved in the 90s where you had all these weird, like Wolverine, undersea cable, Arctic cable, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's what we're doing with USAssassin. We have him in his, we're already working on volume 3s in his Arctic stealth gear, and you know, just trying to keep it fun and, you know, planning for the future if we're ever lucky enough to get action figures. And I have like I'm trying. I'm like reaching out to people, trying to you know, get some things going.
I know a couple of people who work on it in the 3D printing business. So if you really want to go that way, I can point you to some folks.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, we'd be interested.
All right.
Yeah.
So who is USAssassin, and where did this idea come from? Well, first of all, table that question, because you both already said that you both wanted to do comics from an early age and knew that's what you were going to do. How influential was the advent of crowdfunding to your decision to say this is the time to do it? I mean, did you walk your shoes to souls from door to door at Marvel and DC over years, and then this was it? Or
for me, it was just like the next almost evolution of my career. Like I started out doing like indie self-published comics. I was lucky enough to get the notice of Rob Liefeld in the like mid 2000s, and I worked with him on Brigade, Evangeline, and then when he was working for DC during the New 52, he brought me along with him, and I was scripting his Hawkman run. And all the while, I was still doing like my own, creator-owned stuff, doing a bunch of children's books. And then like the last couple years, I first started with my friend John Malin, who was an artist at Marvel. We were working on a project like since 2010 called Graveyard Shift. And every time like we would get going on that, John would get a job. I made the mistake of showing Graveyard Shift to Rob Liefeld, and Rob loved it. But then he hired John to draw Youngblood for him. He asked for my blessing, of course, and I wasn't going to stop my friend from getting a job. But then when Youngblood ended, John started back on Graveyard Shift. But then he showed it to an editor at Marvel, and he started working at Marvel. And then when his Marvel stuff ended, he finally was like, oh, this is the time. And this was like when crowdfunding was just like starting the last couple of years, really getting big for creators. So we actually launched USAssassin out of a Graveyard Shift campaign, Graveyard Shift 2. We made this stretch goal, $170,000. If we hit that, all our backers get a copy of USAssassin Volume 1. And the last day, I think we were like $35,000 short. And I had friends messaging me. So they were like, so are you going to do a USAssassin Indiegogo? Because it looks like you guys aren't going to make it. And I was like, just wait. And that night was one of the most exciting nights of my life. Just watching like the total on Indiegogo keep ticking up and up. And we hit it. We hit 170,000. I think it ended at like 174 maybe. So yeah, all our backers we gave away over 2,000 free copies of USAssassin. And it wasn't just a single issue. It was an 80-page graphic novel. It was a great night, a great feeling.
Oh, yeah. I was up all night watching that thing, just like, just like, oh God, it's not gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And then it would just inch closer and closer, and I was just like, wow, this is so amazing.
And then it became, oh God, we've got to do it now.
Oh, it was done.
Oh, it's done. Cool.
Yeah,
That's
it was done.
Have it done before you crowdfund.
Yeah, we actually started working on it in I think late 2016, and then it was done on the holidays of 2018, and then right after that, I did the 20-page supplemental story for Graveyard Shift. So on top of them getting USAssassin for free, Mark dropped out. So on top of everyone getting USAssassin, they were getting a 20-page story by me also in the supplemental book with 2 other creative teams. And it was really great because not only was my first bulk work in 2 decades come out. And this is my first comic. This is like 1996, 97. It's really old and really bad. But you start somewhere. So it was really great because I had 2 things come out. The Graveyard Shift stuff, it was on a deadline, so that really helped me focus because the USAssassin stuff was just kind of done when I had time, kind of like how John did with the first volume of Graveyard Shift. It was in between stuff. There was no hard deadline. But as soon as those 2 things were done, Mark gave me the script to volume 2, and I put my head down and worked on it, and I think I got it done in it was like 8 to 10 months, just because I also have a day job, 4 kids, wife, got to take care of all that stuff, and
all that life stuff, just
all that life stuff. And I'm not using it as an excuse for taking time, but it was a perfect time to start on volume 2 because I was pumped. I was, energized by the campaign for Graveyard Shift 2, excited that everyone was getting a copy of, that backed it. It was getting a copy of our book. And then we did a second chance campaign this summer. We had 300 extra copies. I think we sold like 100 or 106 of those, I think, if memory serves me correctly. And then I had right around the time that the second chance campaign was being put together, I had volume 2 done art wise. And then Mark sent me a script immediately and said, start on volume 3. And so we're just trying to get as far ahead of the game as possible, because the biggest complaints that the crowdfunding community gets is people waiting a long time, whether it be, Red Rooster, or I know like for Kickstarter, there's like a 7-year wait for Liefeld's Brigade for some people. Some people got it. Some people are still waiting. We want to be reliable. We want to be that comic that, that creative team that, when we put out the campaign and it's live, you're going to get it really quick. So right now, volume 2 is being colored. And then it's going to be lettered. We got some extra goodies coming in our second 30 days. I believe we're just doing the traditional 30 and 30 for the campaign. But yeah, I mean the campaign's got some. I think one of the coolest perks on there is it's like the storage box. I think that's a really cool thing, and it if you get that perk, it holds right now, because we have a reprint of volume 1, we have volume 2, and then we have a limited amount of volume 1 first printings. But if you get the collector box, it holds 5 books, so that gives you a hint of what's to come for the second month, what you'll wind up getting. You'll have everything that comes with the campaign, whether it be hey, there he is.
You wanted that aisle seat.
I'm in the middle again.
Sorry, guys, the sound went out on me for a second, so I thought if I jumped out and jumped back in.
Oh, yep. That sometimes does it. Especially, I bet you're using an iPhone.
Yeah, I'm using my phone.
Yeah, I was using my phone that did that all the time to me. I'd have to drop people off and drop them, bring them back in.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so brainy. I'm on a computer.
I was listening to Mike here, but I wasn't looking at him. I had another tab up because I've been trying to bring up the tab for the actual Indiegogo, and I think
There he is.
I've got the right one now.
We got 100 backers.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, sweet.
Last I looked, it was 99. So that's awesome.
I'm taking the credit for that one.
Thank you.
Actually, I can tell if I just go to my contributions and then I hit the referrals page. Oh no, I guess it wasn't mine at all. So because it doesn't go there. Daggone it, Impossible Stars. So I don't remember putting that one up. I don't even. Oh, that's I know what that one is. That's the new. That's the new your boy Zach one.
Yep.
And I put it up there because Mike Barron was doing something with him there. I was like, whoa, that's a
yeah
new thing.
Yeah, I like Mike Barron. He's writes some really cool stuff.
He comes on the show a lot. So we have a bi-weekly show on Saturdays called the LCS Guys.
Oh, nice.
Local comic shop guys from California, Arkansas, St. Louis, and they sit around. They talk about what's going on in the industry on the front lines, what's selling, what's not,
Yeah.
how Diamond's treating them, how new things are.
Nice.
And, Mike will come on and talk.
Yeah, because I know he's doing. I follow an artist on Facebook, Barry McLean, and he's doing a book with Mike Barron called Cue Ball. And I always watch. He always puts up videos of that's. I don't know if anybody else does it, but I know it's an artist thing. I always have videos of people drawing up while I'm drawing, just because it's kind of keeps that creative stuff going. And Barry always has really cool videos. He's kind of a hoot to listen to, and he's a great artist.
Yeah, I've tuned into a couple of drawing streams like that where you just watch the person draw, and I'm like, kind of quiet after a while, and then I realized it's like, oh, because he can't look at the chat and respond because he's looking at his drawing. So
it's hard, but
mine. Okay, so back to the question that I asked before I had to cycle back about USAssassin. Who is USAssassin, and why is USAssassin?
So the idea came from my love of 80s action films, especially American Ninja. And I was trying to think, like, what would the American Ninja be doing now if he were still, the American Ninja? So the first book was like the Dark Knight take on American Ninja, where our government super agent Joe Knight is retiring, wants to get out of the secret agent business. He takes a job with a private security firm, and his assignment is to train the next step in private security, which are metahumans. And his first mission out with the metahumans goes sideways. They turn on him. They end up kidnapping his family, and he has to become USAssassin one last time to save his family. Funny thing happened as Mike and I were working on this. I really loved writing the character, and I was like, this can't be his last time. We have to do more. And as we were wrapping up the book, and we were going to release it as part of the Graveyard Shift 2 stretch goal, I was just like, trying to get this done. And Mike was like, I added some new pages. And at first I was like, oh, Mike, let's just get this done. But he was like, it'll lead us into volume 2. And all he did was introduce, well, not all he did. He introduced a new character who would be the villain in our second book. And he was like, he's sort of the Storm Shadow to USAssassin Snake Eyes. And that just like, got my mind racing. And I was like, oh, wow. And I swear, I think I sent Mike the script the next day because it just like came to me so quick. I wrote it just as he was finishing up, I think, penciling the last page. I sent him the script for volume 2. And it was like, yeah, we're going this mysterious new character, Zero Face, has returned. Joe wakes up in the basement of this abandoned building, and inspired by like The Raid and Bruce Lee's Game of Death, he has to fight his way out of this building, each level a new challenge for him. And along the way, we take flashbacks to his past, because Zero Faces, is very entangled in U.S. Assassin's origin.
It reminds me of Murtaugh in Lethal Weapon, and Lethal Weapon 2 and 3. It's like, I'm supposed to be retiring.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I actually make an analogy like that when we talk about Volume 2. It's very much like Lethal Weapon 2, where as soon as you open it, boom, you're in the middle of the story. You're kind of playing catch up along with Joe, because it starts off with Joe in dire straits, and you're just like, wait a minute, that's not how we left him. So it's really cool, and it's neat to be able to take people on that kind of a ride. And kick a lot of booty along the way.
So is Joe literally an assassin, or is he more like I'm a really skilled fighter, I'm an assassin in name only kind of thing because it's a cool name?
No, he's an assassin. In the very first book, the opening scene is like him on one of his secret missions, where he has to take out this terrorist leader. Yeah, so yeah, he's an actual assassin. We go into his training in Volume 2, where he is. Yep, there we go.
Okay.
We go into his training of how he's selected for this program, who his sensei is. It's a lot of fun.
I have a special affinity for U.S. assassins. Get to enunciate there, just make sure I get the split. As far as they work for the government, and especially brought in for training, put under a sensei. So if I were to say the names Master Chun and Remo Williams, would that spark anything in you guys?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good. Buy my books. I'm the guy who writes them. That's my shill. So that when I saw USAssassin, I'm like, I want to talk to these guys and see what kind of scrapes they get into and what they pull off, because I'm going to steal them. No, I won't. But he does work for, I guess, the government, not some agency of the government or private agency that says they work for the government. I mean,
he's a government.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, much like G.I. Joe is a U.S. government task force. He's like a special government assassin.
Yeah.
So how long? I mean, since you got the second volume prepared and actually funded, so there has to be a second volume now. Well, I just refresh it while it's up here, because sure, we'll have another backer by now, right? Of course. No, okay, never mind. How is there going to be a book 3? Have you set it up for that?
Oh yeah, Mike's already drawing book 3.
I can only show you the back because it's all spoilers.
Here I was.
It's all spoilers. I can't show you anything. This is the back of the page.
Oh, okay.
All spoilers.
Yeah, we have about 5 volumes planned. We'll see where it goes from there. But we've actually been talking about doing like supplemental books that go along with the campaign. We're both huge G.I. Joe fans, so we thought about even doing like a nod to the silent issue and doing like a whole silent one-shot. Because we're introducing so many characters, we'd like to spotlight them in their own books too. So maybe give them some short stories in some sort of format like that.
That would be that's a good way to build a universe and branch out into having a family of titles if they all branch out into their own titles from a group.
Yeah.
So what are the kind of characters we look at? Because I'm told I have to do a lot more research before I do interviews, and my whole philosophy has been do none, because then I have lots of questions and it fills the time. Because if I know nothing, I can ask everything. Which is why how you got into comics, and I'm like, oh crap, they've been doing DC and shit for years, and it's like Morrison might have heard of me.
So some of the other characters in the book, actually, like I would say my two favorite characters in the book were actually my son Chase helped us create them. The one is the villain Slither. He's like this snake man who has 3 snakes for a tongue. And I think Chase was like 6 years old. He drew me this giant picture of him to hang in my office, and I hung him up and I took a picture and I posted it on Facebook. And Mike saw it and said, "Oh, that guy needs to be in the book." And yeah, we made him one of the characters that Joe trains in Volume 1, and we both loved him.
His game.
Yeah, we loved him so much. He became a reoccurring character. Then my son and I, we were playing Legos, and we were just taking his characters and taking them apart and making different like amalgamations of characters. And we took this little Lego, a German Shepherd, and stuck a bazooka on his back, and we were laughing, saying it was Bazooka Dog. And Mike joked, "Oh, he should be in the book too." Well, I took Mike seriously, and I wrote Bazooka Dog into the book.
Yeah, I was okay.
Bazooka Dog has become like crazier with the more and more stuff that before it was just a bazooka that pops out of his back. Now it's getting more elaborate. And I was joking with Mike tonight that the kitchen sink should just pop out of his back because everything else is showing up in the book.
It's like the team gets all they're all bloody and dirty. It's like, I wish we could wash up. Here's a sink.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
I might take that.
There we go. That's all considered of you.
Yeah, but we're introducing Zero Face in Volume 2. He's the villain in this volume, but he has ties to the USAssassin program. We finally go into more detail about Joe's Sensei Steel, who imagine like all your senseis from 80s action films. Mr. Miyagi, the trainer in Kickboxer, you morph them all together, give them a cool cable scar and some steel appendages, and you have Sensei Steel.
Yep.
And make him talk like Rocky's trainer, Burgess.
You're a bum, Joe. You're a bum.
But
So
as we go, we're going to keep introducing characters, and eventually, this is G.I. Joe is a huge inspiration for us. We're going to build our G.I. Joe-like team. It's not going to be. I mean, USAssassin will always be the main character, but we're introducing all these this support for him.
So, have you talked with any other creators in the crowdfunding arena? I don't want to say Comicsgate because not everybody's Comicsgate,
Right.
Turn some people off, turn some people on. But have you talked with any other creators about doing the mashup thing? Because I know that Mike Barron and Doug and Mike Miller are going to be doing their triple Nexus Bigfoot Bill Lone Star thing. I know that there was talk at one time with Don Chin that we had him on, and there was supposed to be a adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters / cyberfrog book that Dynamite quashed when all that business went down with them. So are we going to see USAssassin and somebody else in the future do something?
Yeah, definitely. And it'll be Volume 3, and Volume 2 leads right into that. I don't want to say who it is. I don't want to give away because it's the big spoiler at the end, who happens to show up. But yeah, we're definitely doing a big crossover, and I would love to do more. Crossovers were always a favorite of mine, especially like in the 90s when you would see like the Image universe was a shared universe, which it really isn't so much anymore. I loved that. I loved seeing other creators' characters pop up in books, and I would like to keep that going.
So I'm looking at the page over here. I'm going to scroll back to the top because I want to go through some of the tiers and see what it is that people get. And the pressure's off. You guys have made it. $500 goal. Come on. Okay. Seriously, you needed more than $500 to make this book happen. So.
Yeah, I mean, we were funding it out of pocket, so it was going to get made regardless. Now, we can pay ourselves back and make the book.
Okay, good. So you've gone over what you really needed.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. But the pressure's off. I don't have to say, hey, we're got 17 days to fund, and it is 17 days. So we're there. This book is going to be done. You guys have, it's not your first rodeo by a long shot, so no one has to worry about it not coming out on time. Looks like the feature one here is the fan pack. So let's tell us a little bit about what people get in here.
Sure. It's so you get a reprint of Volume 1 with a new Spider-Man 1 homage cover by artist Mark Yoon. You get Book 2, and then you get a sketch from Mike.
Very cool. 2 books and original arts for $75. That anytime you get original art, it's always worth the price. 6 of those. So this is the book itself. The one signed copy of Book 2, signed by you, Mark.
Yeah, we're hoping if things clear up with COVID and travel's easier, Mike can come out and sign the books as well. But I didn't want to offer something that we can't guarantee yet. Oh
yeah, totally understand that. I'm going to scroll back up here because I'm trying to see. Okay, there it is, 50 pages, and has is it still 50 pages, or did you hit some stretch goal yet that I'm not aware of? That
it's 50 for now. If we hit a certain number, we'll add additional pages of like pinup art and back matter, stuff like that.
All right. And here's the reprint of Book 1. So it's 25 for the first, 25 for the second. Double tap, 2 copies of Book 2. You get your discount deal there. So it's not 50, it's 40.
Yeah, and we hope to have our book shipped before Christmas. I don't see why it won't. So, makes a great stocking stuffer.
Awesome. Now, I love this picture here. I'd say he's got that flamethrower going. So, this would be the follow-up to this one here. So who is this squid-headed guy here?
He's another new character we created. His name's Dr. Splotch. He's sort of Zero Face's, Dr.
Mindbender,
expert in torture.
I'm tortured just looking at him. I was like, that's like a Cthulhu sort of scariness going on there.
It's like a giant helicopter going over my house.
They're looking for you.
Yeah, they're like, there he is.
So here's the Patriot Pack one. Now this has got USAssassin Book 1, Old Habits.
The first printing of it, yeah.
First printing and the reprint and Book 2 and the original art. So only one person.
Yeah, so that's everything currently offered. Yeah.
So this is the everything package, $100. Yep. And then the Foot Locker. This is going to include extras on top of that, which you got the trading card going.
Yep. It'll have a trading card, a print. It will have a couple books that haven't been announced yet. After the first 30 days, we're going to do another 30 days with a couple new rewards. And those things that are announced, those books will be included in the box too.
Yep. And it's the coolest perk, so everybody buy it. There's only 15.
Yeah, and we already have them made up.
Yep.
Nice. Now you got a retailer pack here. Now this is something I don't see a whole lot of in crowdfunding, and I think it's, for me, it's always been the biggest hurdle that crowdfunding is going to have to get over, is how to reach the retailers and become more than boutique comics.
Yeah, I think like recent events have made retailers take a chance on alternate routes of getting distribution to get their books, and so I felt like the timing was right to do this. And plus, I go to my LCS every week. I love going there. I'd love to see my books in there. So I offered up the retailer pack. You get 10 copies of the Volume 1 reprint, 10 copies of Volume 2. You get a bunch of promotional materials to help you sell the book, and you get a really cool looking 24 by 36 inch poster. Already had like No one's backed it yet, but I've had 3 retailers reach out to me and say that they're really interested and they're gonna back it. So that's a great feeling to know that our book's going to be out there for people who don't use crowdfunding to get their books.
And I've been sitting over here scrolling down the Indiegogo page and circling things with my little mouse pointer, like, prompting you, like, yeah, tell me about this guy, tell me about that guy. And I just realized I wasn't sharing the page. So, I'm an idiot. No news there. I love this. This looks familiar.
Yeah.
I've seen this a lot of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark Yoon cover. It's awesome.
Yeah. The artist Mark, he's a guy I've known since he was just a kid when I started making comics back in 2006. My friends and I, we made it out of a studio in New Jersey, and one day there's a knock on the door, and this kid, I think he was like 16 at the time, his dad drove him over to our studio, and he wanted to make comics, and he wanted to know if he could do something for us. So we gave him a pinup in my first book, Coney Waves, and I've kept in contact with him since then. I actually did a book with him a few years ago, and he was like, can I do a pinup for you? And I was like, sure. And he did this awesome Spider-Man homage, and he would hit me up and say, when are you using my cover? And I would be like, oh, it's just a pinup. And then I had it colored, and I was like, damn, he's right, it is a cover. it's amazing.
Yeah, really cool.
That's an awesome story that somebody could just walk into your studio off the street and work and say, well, do something. And my life would be totally different if I'd been able to do that. I sent in a treatment. Now, granted, I was 11. But I sent in a treatment to DC Comics written in pencil on lined paper with 3-hole punch down the side of it for Superman Fantastic Four crossover back when they were still doing these oversized things.
Yeah.
Said, here's the thing. Galactus is the reason why Krypton was destroyed, and Superman finds out and he gets all mad, and the Fantastic Four have to stop him, and it was the kind of story an 11-year-old would relate to you in one breath. And get it all out. But Dick Giordano wrote me back on DC Stationery and thanked me for my submission and told me, that they weren't looking at this time, but, they keep it on file and, keep writing and all that stuff. Marvel got the same letter I did here. Italy. But I wish I still had that letter. I don't know what. I'm sure my mother cleaned up my room because it was cool because it was like the back of the paper was all the Jose Luis Garcia Lopez artwork of Superman holding up Wonder Woman, holding up Batman, holding up Green Lantern. They were just stacked. The atom on the top holding the globe that said DC in reverse, so that when you held the letter up to the light, it shone through the letter.
Neat.
That's awesome.
Oh well, I have Dick's signature on other things now, so I'm happy with that. Are you guys looking to do anything other than USAssassin as you're crowdfunding this? I mean, not just expanding the universe out, but like a story that maybe doesn't fit in your expanded universe that you still want to tell.
So as we were working on USAssassin, Mike, mentioned that he would like to do another comic, and I was like, sure, like we could do that after USAssassin, and then I kind of figured out a way to work it into. We have 5 volumes of USAssassin planned. When volume 5 ends, it'll kind of, lead into this new book that Mike and I want to do. So, I mean, we're actually kind of keeping it in the family, but it'll be totally its own thing.
I see Stephen Mitchell in the chat. He says, "I love the way that cover is formatted. It gives me 90s comic book vibes."
Yep. That's what we're here to do. Give everyone 90s comic book vibes.
And when Steven's here, I have to prove that I do show that, Critical Blast is a publisher, and we have his book, Bulletproof. And that's why I was struggling with the word dust jacket. I'm like, I know what a dust jacket is because we had to print one. We had to. This is his first novel, Bulletproof Origins. Cody Haywood, 16 years old, wakes up to find out that he is indeed bulletproof. Living in a world of superheroes, decides to become one. Unfortunately for Cody, he has the attention span of a ferret on pixie sticks. So friends have to keep you focused. It is a YA novel. It's not a graphic novel. So
Oh, cool.
want to be aware of that. And if you want to hit the link in the description below, the first link you'll see will be to USAssassin Book 2. Hit that one up first. Get the funding up on that one because that's why we're here. But if you're bored and you're reading the whole description later on, you'll find a link to Bulletproof Funding that's on. Click in that. Which totally derailed my train of thought now. So that happens to me all the time. What kind of a reception have you guys found as far? Well, obviously you found a really good reception because everybody's backed it. You are fully funded. Not just fully funded, but at like 1,090% funded. So you must have a lot of fans from book 1 already out there that were eager for book 2.
There were people that were clamoring for it before it even came out because originally we were going to do single issues. This was before like the Comicsgate crowdfunding thing kind of reared its head, and so we were going to do separate issues. And so I had drawn 3 covers, had them colored, and so I had posted those on Twitter, and people were always asking, when is this coming out? When is this coming out? So, there's a lot of people out there that, were over a year, probably almost 2 years, have been waiting for USAssassin, and this year they're getting it in spades. So, I mean, they're getting volume 1. If they backed Graveyard Shift, they got it on the Second Chance campaign. Excuse me. They can get it with volume 2 and then get volume 2. I mean, we're given as much and as fast as we can because we know there are people out there that have waited a really long time for this character, and it's gotten really good receptions from what I've seen. So I think the only negative reception was because of my contribution, and I understand that. So, but it's better. It's much better. It's consistent. It's consistent now. Volume 2 is going to blow your socks off.
Good deal. I mean, very few franchises have as much fan loyalty as the G.I. Joe franchise does. And if you can tap into something that goes back to the original feel of G.I. Joe in its origin days, not some of the fuchsia tinted scenes I've seen lately that just don't seem to be G.I. Joe at all. You hit such a wide market with that this just seems like a no-brainer. In fact, I'm kind of surprised it's not even funded higher than it is now. Is this the first 30 days?
Yes.
Oh, so you've got another 47 days left, technically 48 days. Because I'm sure the next 30, put it in demand. That's you'll be double this by the very minimum, which double that after seeing Graveyard Shift hit 170 to get the first book out. That do you feel a little deflated, saying why isn't this one getting $170,000?
No, we're the little engine that could. That's the way I look at it. We are.
So I do Graveyard Shift with John Malin, and John has such a huge fan base. I kind of feel like people don't realize that I'm the co-creator and writer of the book. So it's just trying to get people to notice USAssassin. A lot of people also didn't realize, like, once they backed Graveyard Shift, they just stopped following the campaign. When USAssassin showed up in their package, they were like, "What? This free book? What is this about?" So they had no idea they were getting USAssassin. So it was really like springing something new on them. I think more and more people will tune into it. We gave away 2,000 books. I think we could get 500 of them to take a chance on volume 2.
Oh yeah, 1 out of 10 to take a chance of. Obviously, I think you have, and I think you'll have even more. We have another backer.
No, nice.
You're at 101. It's up to 54.85. So, has it been pretty much that way? I mean, is it following the standard release of an Indiegogo where it's like day one, whee, and then it's like 2-2?
Yeah. So I have another book to compare this to, because it's hard to compare it to Graveyard Shift because that's such a huge hit. But I did another book at the end of last year called Sea Dog, with a character I created with my son and artist Clint Holinsky, and that did USAssassin's trending better than Sea Dog did, and Sea Dog ended up almost at like 25,000 when everything was said and done. So, I'm perfectly happy with those type of numbers.
Oh yeah. Okay. So if it's trending like that, then you'll probably do the same here. You are in the middle, kind of the middle trough of that first 30 days. I know things pick up a lot more the last couple of days. Clint's an excellent artist too, because I've seen his work now on. He's doing Pirate Queen with Mandy Summers.
Yep.
And or I always call it Pirate Booty. I told him to bring that over to our channel. We'll have her on again to push that book. So yeah, I don't follow the trend so much. I know kind of the generic of how a campaign goes, but I know that there's like tools. If you're running a campaign, you log into other websites and you say, show me how I should trend. And are those accurate at all? Do you even use those?
Not so much. I just go from like experience. Like I know there is like a period where it's a lull. And that's why we're going to introduce new rewards after the first 30 days to spice up the campaign. When you're right in the middle, that's like when it's the deadest, because I feel like the backers come out at the very beginning and they come out at the very end. Introducing some new rewards, not just like some new covers, but maybe like T-shirt stuff like that will bring some more excitement into the campaign and help us.
Yeah, I do that with when I back Kickstarter campaigns. I'll like mark them, and then I'll say, okay, I want to come in on the very last day and fund this. Not because I want to see if it gets funded before I put my money in, but because I don't want to, commit my PayPal funds to something on day one and then forget I did it.
Right.
And then my PayPal said, I have $30 and here I go spend it. And then they try to hit it for the money I pledged 28 days ago. So, we're funding now. And
yeah,
that's
why I like Indiegogo better, because once you pledge, it takes it, and you don't have to. Because I used to get in a lot of trouble for all the Kickstarters I pledged to, and my wife would be like, "Why is $40 missing from our account?" Or why is this package showing up in the mail? And I'm just like,
yeah, been there. Of course, mine was because I tried to track it and beat the mailman to the door. And of course, when I try to do that, I invariably fail. So when my sky-clad edition of Tarot Witch of the Black Rose showed up from Jim Ballant and Holly Golightly, and it got opened before
oops.
That there was discussions had.
Yeah, I used to get that book too.
Yeah, but he just did the Kickstarter on that one. What did I do with it? Oh, it's invisible to me here. And this is one of the things that, they did a really great job of adding, not perks, but I guess stretch goals. I get them mixed up sometimes. So, you commit $30 to a book for a book, and you get a package with a book and a poster and a print and another book. And you're like, did I buy too much? And, one of the things they put in there, over here, you get the keychain, the die-cut keychain.
Raven X.
Are you looking at tchotchkes and stickers and stuff?
Yeah. We're going to do, one of our stretch goals is stickers, but eventually I'd like to do dog tags, but there's a volume more dog themed, I guess. So I feel like dog tags would be perfect for that volume. But yeah, I want to do cool little things like that.
That'd be cool. I mean, Sticker Mule's the place to go. Yeah, get your stickers and your keychains and your stick pins. And by the way, if you're in the chat watching this and you like these little holofoil 3-inch stickers, all you have to do is send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Critical Blast at 1097 Prestwick Drive. Belleville, Illinois 62221, and we will put 2 of them in the envelope you send us and send them back to you so you can give one to a friend. That's how we take advantage of you and your generosity. We know you won't use 2 of them. You give one to somebody else, and you become our marketing department. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that stickers would have been something that people really got into.
Oh yeah.
I'm 53 years old, and I just got this refurbished laptop to replace the last one that finally gave up the ghost on me. First thing I did was I stuck one of these on the back of the back panel. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. It's been a week, and my son walked in and said, "You've had your computer a week, and you've trashed it." He's 12, and he's telling his 53-year-old computer because I've got my Critical Blast sticker on there. I've got my Dragon Rage sticker. I've got my Ravage sticker. All these, comics that send me stickers in here. I'm like, yep, here's another one for the wall of stickers.
Oh yeah. I put all my stickers on my I got a little shelf here full of drawers that I put my art boards in, and so I've got like a Red Riding Hood from the Living Corpse guys. I got
cool.
The bumper sticker they sent me, my zombie 8-year honor student. I got a Cyberbrog sticker. I got a Graveyard Shift sticker. I got a Savage Eve sticker from Marat Michaels books.
We got around Vinyl Cling Cyberfrog sticker. It's in his bathroom on his mirror.
Nice. Yeah, stickers are fun. I like them.
They are. I feel like I should get a Panini book now and just start,
That's what we need to do, a USAssassin sticker album.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah. Or, just trading cards for every one of the characters and just, collect. Well, you don't even have to collect the full set. That's the thing that trading cards I like to chase. And when when people put trading cards in their crowdfunded books, it's always like, yeah, I got the whole set right here. That's nice, but you don't get the thrill of the chase. That's why I keep telling people you need to work with other crowdfunders so that you get like one big 3x3 scene of characters and everybody put out their own and then make you chase the other 8 with their campaigns. So, if you get a Cyberfrog card and a Graveyard Shift card and you realize, they go together like this and I've got to get these other 7. What do I got to get? I've got to go after USAssassin. I've got to go after Pirate Queen. I've got to, okay, I'll go fund these things to get my cards because that's the kind of mentality we have. Right?
A foil Sea Dog card.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous. Now, is Sea Dog in the same world?
Universe?
Assassin?
Yep. Yeah. All my characters are in the same universe. USAssassin actually popped up in a little cameo in Graveyard Shift in the supplemental book that Mike worked on with me.
Yep.
So that would be technically the first appearance, or is there another
appearance?
Well,
it was shipped with the free copy of USAssassin, so either one, I guess. They both were delivered at the same time.
Yeah. And even in volume 1, there's reference to the president,
Van Helsing.
Van Helsing.
Graveyard Shift, yeah.
I swear, the more I shave down, I feel like I'm shaving into brain cells.
Yeah, I've got to get to my razor too. I've got I didn't used to look like this, but then one day I shaved it all off because I was like, it's cheaper than the barber. And now when it grows back out, it doesn't lay over. It's just it grows out and then it keeps straight. Yeah, this isn't how it's supposed to go. So now I've got to cut it off all the time now. No combing it to the side anymore.
Yeah.
So I grew this out instead. Yeah.
That's right. Shave your head, grow a goatee.
I got to get it shaped a little bit. I want to get that Luciferian kind of point down at the bottom so I can sign contracts and stuff. All right, so we are at the full hour here. I managed to really pad that last bit of time. USAssassin scratch and sniff stickers.
There we go.
Ring?
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
That's right. This one smells like death.
Gunpowder.
George he is doing the puzzle cards with Joe King. Now I think George, you're putting both cards though in the same set. It's not like he'll have like a a graveyard shift and a Joe King card, and he puts the two together to make one single picture. But you get them both at the same time, as opposed to getting one with one campaign and one with somebody else's campaign. That's the chase I'm talking about. And George is the guy I was going to refer you to for the 3D printing for your USAssassin stuff.
Cool.
He is doing, in his next Joe King book, if you signed up for the newsletter, you become eligible to get the next 3D printed thing, which is the spaceship that the people travel in. And the son of a bitch is 3 feet long. So it's a monster. He showed me the pieces of it, and it's like,
that's awesome.
That's awesome, man.
the things that people do with their crowdfunding, that's the thing that's amazed me the most. Not the fact that, we found a way to print comics a different way and sell them a different way, but that we've gotten so creative about the stuff we can put with them and to draw people to them. Oh, I'm going to sign up for a comic book for a card or a toy, and the comic book will be the extra thing to me because I spent the money to get the toy. Mark Yoon says we should randomize which cards are in the shipments. That would probably create an eBay market.
I think we get some angry fans.
Yeah. But it's like, I don't know. You could have like the random tiers. Like at this tier, you have a 1 in 20 chance of this card being holofoil. Whereas, I don't know. That might be risking it. So
yeah.
And George is telling you to hit him up on Twitter at TBBINC.
Oh, good.
He'll show you the video of the Joe King character that he put together, which is also very cool. So
nice.
Before I let you go, do you guys do a lot of YouTube promoting for the book? Because I know that, we talked how John Malin's Graveyard Shift was like this exponentially successful thing. John's on YouTube all the time. I don't know when he has time to write and draw the book. And apparently
I write the books.
Yeah. Mark's, wait, that way.
He's that way.
Yeah. Mark's the co-creator and writer of the book, and John is the artist.
Yeah, so
and co-creator, but
Mike and I, we both work day jobs, so unfortunately we can't be on YouTube throughout the day. We hit it up at night when we can. We both have our own YouTube channels. I'll stream with Mike every now and then, and my YouTube channel every week I'm doing pro wrestling videos, but I talk comics too.
Yeah, and he does unboxing videos, and something that needs to come back, Mark, is your dollar video reviews, because I love those.
Oh yeah,
dollar store.
I go to Dollar Tree and buy movies and then review them. It started during the when the pandemic started. I've just been so busy making comics, I haven't had a chance to watch a movie in a while.
I love the toys that they sell there. The stuff that comes from China that occasionally gets you see just weird stuff.
Yeah. No, I always tell myself I need to make take one of their generic action figures and create a comic for them, just so I can have my own line of figures. I in my head it's called Dollar Store Ninjas.
Yeah.
Nice.
That would be cool. You could make stop motion videos out of them.
The whole thing would be that the characters can only move their arms like up and down, and they can't bend their legs or anything. So they're terrible fighters.
Ninja T-Rex. He's like, I would chop your head off if I could reach it, but I can't. That was the first. Action figures was the first thing where my wife realized there was something wrong with her husband. Because I'm a grown adult and I'm buying action figures. I'm buying extras of action figures and opening them.
What's wrong with action figures?
Well, nothing's wrong with the action figures. When you open them, you set them up on the shelf. But when she walks into the kitchen and you have a pot of water boiling and you're holding one in there by his ankles so you can pop his head off more easily, because I was doing the I'll just get two of them. I was doing the garage action figure thing where you were making new characters, and I was on Starman binge.
Sweet.
And I don't even know.
But you didn't do the good costume.
Which good costume?
The yellow and purple one. That's my favorite. The one that came before the black and red one.
Oh, you're right. I didn't do that one. I was going to say, I thought maybe you were talking about
Oh, no.
the one with I had to cut a fin for his head. And then,
Yeah.
of course, the guy who had no costume at all, just the leather jacket.
The Tom Lyle one is my favorite. I love that.
Was that
It's asymmetrical. One glove was longer than the other. One boot was longer than the other.
I know the one you're talking about. Yeah. The same character that I showed earlier. But
Yeah. And then they went to one where it's like the boots and the gloves are the same size. And I'm like, you took a really visually unique looking character with colors that aren't usually used for a superhero, and then you just made him a red and black, cookie cutter. But yeah, I love Tom Lyle's work. He did his Starman and the Comet that he did for Archie Comics.
Yeah.
I love the Archie
characters.
Like, I think it was like the Black Hood or the Hood.
Black Hood.
The Comet, the Fly. There's a couple others. I don't know.
The Jaguar, the Shield.
The Shield, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I got into those when they were the old versions of them, and they have not been able to recapture the magic on those yet. But that's a story for another video and another time.
All right.
I appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to let you get back to actually creating some comics instead of
Thank you.
talking to me. And
Thank you for having us.
well, glad to do it. Always glad to talk comics and to learn about new campaigns and figure out where I can spend more money and hopefully induce other people to do the same. So, I'm glad that this one's funded. I'm looking forward to getting my copy now and reading it. So, cheers, guys, and we will see you for book 3, I hope.
Yes. Thank you.
Take care, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Hi, thanks for stopping by for another Critical Blast video. The internet is a big place, and we know there are lots of other places you could be other than here, and we appreciate you being here immensely. If you enjoyed this kind of content, we hope you'll return for more. If you click the subscribe button, you'll get a little notification of when we produce new video content. If you would like to help the channel out, there are many ways to do so. Just visiting our main hub, criticalblast.com, will do wonders. But if you're more of a show me the merchandise type of person, there are links in the description of this video to our t-shirt shop, as well as links to Amazon for the books we publish under the Critical Blast Publishing imprint, including the urban fantasy anthology Gods and Services and the YA superhero novel Bulletproof by Stephen J. Mitchell. Thanks again for visiting this video. We hope you had a blast.